Consistency defensively, and keep chipping away at it. Again, our offense, if we don't take care of the ball, which that's one thing. We've talked about the live ball turnovers, but when we have people driving in the hole and going to the basket, it's really tough to defend when our floor balance changes like that. And, it's not that you don't want to drive. But I thought we passed up some shots that, we had one stretch where we had 3 straight threes that we didn't make, but we'll rebound a few of those. They're actually easier to defend against, and then when we draw them out, if we can get to the rim. But I thought the second half defensively, we started talking more. And that cleans up a lot of things, regardless of a coverage or a scheme or a plan. Guys are out there competing, and if you talk, you can defend together, and that's the key. So, I'd like to watch the film and see some of the details of that, but those are my initial impressions.
When it is a night like this where shots maybe aren't necessarily falling as much, do you think that kind of leads into guys passing up maybe some good shots if they're not having that night?
Yeah, possibly, and you just can't. That's where, particularly the way that they're playing, they're shifting so far over to stop penetration. For a little while, we weren't maybe making that pass quickly enough, and then we kind of figured it out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a shot. It has to be a really quick decision. I think we had one where he just ripped through baseline and we kicked it right to the corner. But when we get off and keep attacking, but a lot of if you're open, some guys, Bogey's going to take that shot. Someone else may pull through and drive it. Some guys might do either. But we can't let that mentality dictate how we play. If it's like, if we're on or not. It's just got to be the way we play. And that's consistent. That allows the other guys to know what's going on in the court too.
And then that second half, just with those live ball turnovers, it felt like you guys were just there and then missed a shot or just there and had a live ball. Was it something about their pressure that made that more difficult, or was it just mental lapses?
I think, a lot of times that there's something that's happened before that where we end up playing in a crowd, and with a team that is, then they had small lineups on the court at times too, but they put size out there a lot of times and physicality. It's just that much more important to make simple plays to keep us out of those situations where those things occur.
Hey, Coach. Will you talk about Conwo's contribution and what you see from him?
Yeah, he's been really good, particularly on the offensive line. He's one of the guys that, you don't see a lot of post-ups in today's NBA. But when he gets a mismatch, guys trust him to throw the ball to the top. He's got excellent hands, and he's a great finisher. But he has impacted the game so much on the offensive glass. And again, it's one of the reasons we need to take those shots, because he's been tenacious rebounding. So as much as anything, I just like the way he's competing, and he's hungry to learn, and he continues to bring that. He'll keep getting better.
Coach, Memphis is one of the more physical teams in the league. As you go forward, is that something that you would like to see this team improve on, just being a little bit more physical, night in and night out?
Yeah, I think you have to be who you are. When you look at some of those guys out there, you're going to be more physical if you're 230 as opposed to 200. But that doesn't mean that you can't be aggressive, and I think there's a difference. And sometimes aggressive means running. It means cutting, it means spacing, but you have to keep playing. You can't have any kind of mental, I wouldn't even call it lapses, where there's always something to do on the court. Just constantly, whatever it is. Sometimes it's more noticeable than others, and that's the aggression that we have to play with, particularly if a team is as physical as Memphis is. If you aren't aggressive, it's going to really show, as physical as they are.
Any last questions?
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.